All right, the last thing you're going to do today in lesson 4.4 is you're going to take one of the data sets. You looked at four. You looked at favorite desserts, favorite TV shows, hours of sleep, and you looked at how much money someone made each month mowing yards. So some of those are bar graphs, some of them are line graphs. You're going to pick one and build it for me. All right. So the kind of question here is called a show your work question. And we have not used these very much. So I want to show you how they work. So when you get to there, you're going to see this box. It's going to say show your work. Just click right there, show your work. It's going to pull up a blank graph for you. I didn't want you to have to draw all the lines. Okay. But what you're going to do is you're going to build this graph with some labels, some dots, some bars, whichever one you pick. Like I said, you get to pick which of the four data sets you want to do. So I want to show you some tools on how you can build it. Okay. Right here, you have this scribble tool. All right. This is just your simple, I'm going to draw, I'm going to write on the top of anything on the page. Okay. So that can be a useful tool that you can use, the scribble tool. You can also pick the line tool, which when you click and drag are going to create very, very straight lines. This little arrow down here in the bottom left corner is the undo button. It's really, really helpful. Now, when you label your graph, you're going to need some sort of numbers. You're going to have to tell me what's going on the bottom, what's going on the top. You can write things in there, but there's also this text button, which is this little T, which can help your graph look a little bit different, right? So if you were going to do a graph and you're going to do months along the bottom, you might go January, February, March, April. You can type these things down there. And then you can see it does not have to look perfect, but they will be there. Okay, so you can use this text tool to help yourself out with some labels. You just click and you start to type. Okay, another useful thing is up here, you can create some rectangles. All right, I can create some rectangles, but before I do, if I just were to put a rectangle on there, you can see it's kind of blank and it kind of blends in, doesn't work very good. So when I click that, if I'm building a bar graph, I can click the color up here and I can change the color. So if I wanted to make a bar, I could do red. If I clicked filled shapes, then when I create this bar, you can see it's a nice thick bar that stands out on that graph really, really well. So once again, once you do that, you can kind of click on that shape and then you can change some of the color, right? So you can click on that color. Once again, if I was going to do it again, I'd click rectangle, go up here. Maybe the second one I'm going to make yellow. I want to click it, fill shapes, and then I can click and drag and create those bars. Okay, but your job is going to be to take one of those data sets and do your best to create either a line graph or a bar graph showing that set of data. Okay, so think about everything you need on a graph. You need a title, you need labels, and then you need to show it on the graph. Don't stress too much if it doesn't look perfect. I just want to get a good idea of how you're doing with some of those things. Okay, so that is your task, your